Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Aptrepreneur, and welcome to the Daily Rideshare. This is your source for daily rideshare news and commentary, and we've got a lot to discuss, so let's just jump into it. And the first story today, I kind of debated whether this was going to be the main one or the end story, but I think a lot of you will get a kick out of it, and it makes for a good headline. So let's look at it. And the headline is, the relationship between ousted Uber founder Travis Kalanick and new CEO Dara is clearly strained. Gee, you wonder, you think? And it says, with a new 1.4 billion won of cash burning a hole in his pocket, Uber co-founder, board member, and ousted CEO Travis Kalanick is in Davos this week, partying with the world's rich and famous. Like many others that go to Davos, he was reportedly spotted with a registration bag hanging from his neck, an indication that he wasn't there to attend the World Electronic Forum conference itself, but to mingle and network. This is an old trick of his from his struggling startup days when he couldn't afford the conference fees. Boy, times have changed, haven't they? People close to Kalanick told Business Insider. Back then, he used to attend a hot conference, say SXWS, skip the annual conference, and just go to the parties. And we don't know who he is in Davos to see, but we do know one person he ran into. The CEO he helped hire to replace him, Dara. The two men were spotted at the dinner party a Tuesday night, hosted, yada yada. People said it looked awkward, Dealbook reported, but others told Business Insider that it was signed seating and the two men were perfectly fine hanging out together. Still, early in the morning, Dara told CNBC that his relationship with Kalanick these days is fine, but it's strained. Dara is now responsible for cleaning up Uber's reputation from the scandals that led Kalanick's resignation last summer. Now, the article goes on, and of course, as always, I will link to all of them below so you can see the full article, but this isn't really surprising to me, and it probably shouldn't be surprising to you. After all, even though Kalanick did help get him the job, well, once Dara had the job, he kind of realized there was a lot of stuff that Kalanick wasn't telling him, and I think his ambitions for Uber, Dara's that is, have been thwarted ever so slightly because of Kalanick's little, scandals. He now has to constantly apologize for Kalanick's scandals, and you now see him distancing himself from Kalanick. And what I found most interesting about the article, actually, is that Kalanick is apparently still one of the biggest shareholders in the company, even though he sold like 30% of his stock. Like, wow, Kalanick really must have had a lot of stock. So it doesn't surprise me that the relationship is strained, and I think in the future we'll start seeing Dara distance himself more and more from Kalanick. But there it goes, and as most of you viewers are probably feel, couldn't have happened to a nicer fellow, right? And then this next story is something that definitely sounds like it's going to benefit drivers, but it's probably not. And it's not even happening in the US, but what the heck, let's talk about it. And that is this article from CNN Philippines. Uber files petition to increase fares. Let's see here. Ride-sharing service Uber Philippines on Thursday filed a petition at the Land Transportation and Franchising Regulatory Board to increase its per-kilometer fare up to more than double depending on the time of day. Uber's eyeing a 6.3 peso increase for its per-kilometer fare for baseline service Uber X. Under the petition, Uber X fares in Metro Manila could spike to P12 per kilometer from P5.7, or more than double its current rate. Uber said in the petition that this will be subject to an occasional decrease or down to P900 on off-peak hours. I'm sure it is. So, here, and of course, they're asking for. Now, what I find interesting is that apparently Uber needs to get permission, basically, to raise the rates in the Philippines, which is interesting. That's very different from what we do in America. And considering how much people are talking about the rates, I'm kind of wondering: do you think Uber should actually be held accountable in the States or in the UK? Like, hey, if they want to raise or decrease the rates, they have to get permission. I don't know. I just found that fascinating. I don't know why. And the third story today, and I have to admit, I kind of debated this being the main story, and somehow it's in the middle. I guess I gotta plan my stories better, but it turns out the new CEO of Uber is actually trying to get drivers more benefits. According to this Business Insider article, let's see here, the nature of American law is changing as concerns grow about whether workers in the gig economy can maintain basic standards of living. Uber CEO Dara has spoken now. In an open letter signed by Dara and co-signed by Service Employees International Union 775 President David Rolfe, along with Seattle entrepreneur Nick I'm not even going to try. The group calls on Washington State to give contract workers access to health benefits and retirement planning. Quote, leaders across business, labor, and government have publicly recognized the need for action, but a myriad of legal, policy, and political hurdles have to date prevented meaningful progress towards a new portable benefit system, they wrote. Economists and technologists have forecasted a fundamental shift in the way work is done in the U.S. Over the next few decades, these forecasts suggest entire industries will displace human workers with robots and artificial intelligence, potentially resulting in rampant unemployment and severe economic downturn. Dara, Rolf, and whatever his name is, suggest their model of a portable benefits system would help gig economy workers avoid succumbing to this looming threat. Even if people move from a full-time schedule to part-time work, they wouldn't lose their benefits along the way. Now, here's my question, of course. I mean, yeah, we have like the Affordable Health Care Act that typically helps out in situations like this. But my question is, if the CEO of Uber is so concerned about our benefits, why doesn't the company just offer them? I mean, I know they're expensive, that's kind of the point, but as much as I'm a capitalist, it's like, you know what, you can't be a company, make all this money, and then write letters to the government saying, hey, by the way, government, we need you to protect our workers. I mean, we're concerned about them. No, if you provide health benefits for your own employees, like, I don't know. So that's I don't know what else to say about this one. And in news for Lyft today, apparently Lyft is opening up its concierge program to everyone starting a few days ago. I'm actually a little late on reporting this one, it turns out. Lyft today announced it's expanding its concierge program, the service that allows organizations to schedule rides for other people to more business customers. First announced in 2016, the service was originally designed to help patients get to medical appointments, particularly in areas where they may not have a car of their own, like New York, where more than half the households are car-free. The 2016 partnership between Lyft and the National Meds Trans Network aimed a change out by offering seniors in NYC a way to get rides to their non-emergency medical appointments by way of the new third-party web application Concierge. Lyft partners use Concierge to request rides on behalf of those who don't have smartphones or otherwise aren't able to book rides for themselves for other reasons. Since then, Lyft has partnered with other organizations, including JetBlue, CareMore, and GoGo Grandparent for similar objectives, including not only medical appointments, but also getting customers to meetings or making sure employees have a safe ride home. And so this is obviously going to benefit Lyft and probably drivers a lot because the program's now open to everybody, and, you know, that's always a good thing. So, yeah, good for you, Lyft. Let's see if Uber actually opens it up to their own little scheduling program to everyone. And for our final story today, this is not necessarily important, but in my opinion, it's really, really funny, and I just had to comment on it. I mean, just indulge me a little, guys. But according to this article, driver claims that Waze GPS app instructed them to drive into a lake. This is golden for a couple of reasons. When a salvage team pulled a Jeep from the bottom of a lake Monday, it had been there for more than a week. All the owner did was lend it to friends for a sightseeing trip in Vermont, who, according to USA Today, said Google's Waze GPS app instructed them to drive off of a boat launch and into Lake Champlain. USA Today reports that the driver and two passengers didn't realize what was happening until they'd slid onto the frozen lake. All the Jeep passengers got out safely. The story said the vehicle's owner, Tara Curtin, claimed she thought the GPS instruction was a fluke until she tried her route on the crowdsourced navigation app, which updates in real time based on other drivers' conditions. She got instructed to drive into the lake as well, she said. A Google spokesperson told USA Today the company was glad everyone was safe, but that Waze couldn't explain how the car ended up in the lake. And this one's funny for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that it's really funny that Waze would kind of instruct people to drive into water. Although there might be a reason for that, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But the main reason is how dumb are some people? They're driving. Look, I know that you're following the GPS and everything, but you also have to look what's in front of you, right? You have to look what's in front of you. You didn't see a road? All you see is water, and you just keep driving? Now, let me tell you a quick story, because this actually almost happened to me one time, where the GPS, specifically Waze, was having me go to where a boat ferry was. It was going to have me get on the boat ferry and go across, the water. I didn't do that because I didn't feel like paying $130 just to do that. But the Waze map was take me that way. I disabled it by going to the settings and having that thing that checked avoid toll roads, because apparently this is considered a toll road. So that's how I avoid it. Now, I don't know if that's what happened here, of course. I just think it's really funny because, again, water. Look ahead. You don't see water? Seriously? And that's where we're going to end today's show. What do you folks think? Did any of these stories stand out? Do you have any comments on them? I would love to know. Leave them below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos, consider becoming a patron member for $1 a month. And as always, flame responsibly, and I will see you on the Daily Rideshare. Have a good one.